Yeah.
Always not feeling like you always gotta be cookie cutting, or because you rap you gotta have jail time under your freaking belt, or a couple bodies, or sell bricks, or smash mad birds. Like,
that's what I like. That's what I like about hip hop. It's so many things. It's not just one thing. People you want to box it in. It's not.
Exactly.
It's a tool. You can use it in so many different ways.
We're gonna bring this dirt to the surface, and that's what the whole purpose of Dirty Dirty is, and to do it without cursing, so that nobody can say nothing like, oh, does your music have curtain? Nope. You can play my joint on the radio. You can play it for a kid if there's not a song with some adult content. You know what I mean, like that. You know, but you can play it for your grandma. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
really cool, man.
Legit. You know what I mean? Like, and we've rocked shows in front of literally children and elderly people and everyone in between.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, at this point right now, there's not one place you can put me in front of. I don't care if it's 7 people or 17,000. I'm rocking that shit,
bro. I freaking respect.
You know what I mean? Like,
I respect
that,
bro.
Yeah,
legit. You know what I mean? And that's what we bring, and it's beautiful, man. Like I'm walking in my purpose, being.
Welcome to the Everything and Anything podcast, where we talk about everything and anything. I'm your host, Frank.
And I'm your host, Uzi.
And today we got a special guest. We got Lord Graham in the building.
Lord Graham. Graham, what's going on? What's good, my dude?
It's a pleasure having you, brother.
Hey,
it's so cool to have you.
Hey, man. Pleasure's all mine, man.
For real, man. Yeah. No, we're excited to have you, bro. And when we brought up your name for the podcast, we thought, man, he would be perfect for this because you're just really big on the scene in Providence and Rhode Island. And we just love your gift, man. We love everything that you're about, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Good vibes, bro.
Yeah,
good
very
vibes.
good vibes.
Good
man.
artist.
Thank you,
yeah,
man.
Bro.
Likewise, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It.
Like, you know, the energy is reciprocal for sure.
Yeah, I think I met you at Troop.
Yeah.
Some of the most awesome memories I have, bro.
No. Yeah, shout outs to Troop, man. I had a blast.
Yes.
Working there. That's a beautiful place.
100%. And the food is fire.
People, yeah.
Everybody needs to go to Troop at least once.
At least
not once.
A couple
10 times.
Yeah, yo. Experience brunch, dinner, and late night. Get a taste of all the vibes.
Heck yeah.
Damn, I didn't know they did brunch.
Yeah, that brunch is it slaps, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chef. What's the chef's name? I feel like I met
chef
him.
is JT. He's one of the co-owners. You know what I mean? Shout out to Chad. He's a head chef as well too.
Okay.
A couple other heads over there. It's beautiful people, man. I was there for about like 4 years or so.
Oh, okay.
And became the event coordinator for 2 of those. You know, shout out to my man Sim Sima. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My man DJ Sim Simo. Great people, man. I really enjoyed my time there and got to meet people like y'all and more people and just reacquaint myself to the scene. It was a blessing in disguise for sure. You know.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome.
Yeah, the event coordinating's been something I've been doing for a very long time.
Okay.
So it felt only right to be there at a hip hop themed restaurant.
Yeah.
Right. And it definitely has, the Troop has that vibe of its hip hop, and the style of it is definitely like a hip hop vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope, and yeah.
So give us a quick summary of for the audience that don't know who you are. Just give a quick summary of yourself, of like who you are, what you do.
Are you from Rhode Island, or did you come from like another city or state, or?
I said it in a rhyme once. I said, born in New Bedford, Bay Village in specific kid, but Providence is written on my birth certificate. Because that's 1,000% facts. Like, I was physically born in Providence, Rhode Island, but most of my life I grew up in New Bedford, Mass, which is not far at all.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm familiar.
I mean?
I'm a little familiar with
Bedford, and, you know, I've always been trickling between here and Boston throughout my life, you know what I mean? Yeah. But so something told me to come here around 2007, 2008. Around that time is, like, towards a period of, like, the underground hip-hop scene in Rhode Island that was, like, unlike no other, you know what I mean? Like, it was a time where you had, like, C&J Records, which had Chachi and Swan Nadi.
Big shout out.
Cia the Beast, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, and so many other heads. Plus, you had Fed Hill at their prime. people like Poorly Drawn Peoples, Proton Records. There was just so many dope artists. Juan Deuce was coming up at that time too, and like for us coming from New Bedford, we were doing our thing with Third Eye Unlimited. You know what I mean? Shout outs to them. I put in a lot of work for that in that organization. And
what's
learned
that?
a lot.
What is that? What organization is that?
It's a non-profit youth organization based out of New Bedford, Massachusetts that I was blessed to be a part of and come across around like 2001. I was a pup back then, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like we did a lot of like community events that basically were youth ran, and we used the culture of hip hop. Like,
okay.
And one of our biggest accomplishments was a couple. There was a TV show called Put Out the Word that aired on public access television shows, and it started off with my man Ben Gilbar. He used to go to events throughout New England and beyond and tape people like Eminem before they blew. Like,
what?
You know what I mean? Like, he'd be at all of those concerts, like putting out the word, quote unquote, about this culture called hip hop, and then it grew into like getting music videos involved, and then getting more community events involved, and putting skits together. And pardon me. That's how I learned how to edit film. That's how I learned how to write grants, write sponsorship proposals at like 16.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow,
like
bro.
Going door to door, passing out flyers, putting on anything. You know what I mean? Like
everything
visuals
and anything
for people who passed any and everything. Exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And what another big accomplishment that we used to do was this festival called the Third Eye Open, which was all day at Buttonwood Park. We did that there for like 15 years. Now they moved it to downtown Providence, New Bedford. Yeah. But the event literally had 8-foot high and like 32-foot long walls, like 5 or 6 of them with graffiti crews spraying the
that's fire,
day
bro.
of all day.
That's really cool.
Live performances, 3-on-3 basketball tournament, slam dunk contest, 3-on-3 breakdancing battles, popping battles, DJ exhibitions. Like, it was everything. Community organizations, setting up vending tables, and we would spend the whole year organizing that event as youth. You know what I mean?
That's dope, bro.
That's really dope.
It really was, and that's how I got a lot of like my footing into the Providence scene, where people were coming from down there to New Bedford and being like, "Oh, I recognize you." You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then my partner, who I rock with, shout outs to Dirty Dirty, by the way. Foolish of me for not mentioning my rap group. So yeah,
shout out.
Lord Gremithy is one half of a duo called Dirty Dirty. The other half is the Mean Cyron. Shout outs to him.
Yes, sir.
And he was a part of another hip hop group that came out of New Bedford called Busted Fro, and we used to work together. I was like 13, and that's when I met these dudes, and we've been working together ever since, basically.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And then we moved from the New Bedford scene, where we were very political and heavy on the activism, to then kind of switching it over, doing the Dirty Dirty style. And kind of making it a parody on hip-hop, because at the time it was a lot of like flooding of commercialization and same stuff we kind of get now on a mainstream level, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
really
of course.
changes on that aspect, unfortunately. But we were like, yo, if it's cool to talk about blowing your brains out of your head, and that's not gross or dirty, why can't I talk about picking my nose or you know what I mean, or about just like body odor or freaking, like, you know what I mean? Like, we were a parody at first, and we used the philosophy of basically being controversial, conscious, and comical, and not curse.
That's amazing.
And we did that for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, actually longer than that. We've been on the scene since 2008. You know what I mean? In Rhode Island. You know what I mean? And Dirty Dirty was born in Rhode Island, even though, you know, me and him connected in New Bedford. Like, we moved out here and created this persona, these new characters. We completely went the opposite direction and kind of was like the black sheep, so that of the activist family, you know what I mean, for a little bit. People were like, yo, like our first single was called Hot Garbage, bro. I swear to you, our first show was at the Black Rep. It was with Chachi, this group called Riders Against the Storm. Shout outs to them. Who they're from Rhode Island, but they're doing major things in Austin, Texas. So shout outs to them. And then a couple other heads that were there. And the hook of the song, Hot Garbage, it's online, by the way. The hook goes, put your finger in your butthole and smell it. Nah, we're kidding. But throw your hands up and make noise. This ain't a sit-in. We're dirty, because that's the way that the game is. We got that hot garbage. Why can't we be famous?
Wow.
So that's how we came out.
Wow.
And then we used the tactics of basically shock value with how we perform these songs, like the way that we perform them, what we're wearing, what we're doing, how we're acting out these songs. Sometimes we used to do shows, like we did a show at AS220 a while ago. It was a Halloween show, and we wrote an intro song just for that show.
Wow.
Where he was Gandalf the Brown and I was Frodo Swaggins. You know what I mean?
Yo.
And we dressed the part and we were like, you know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Playing it like that.
That is so creative.
Yeah, that's what Dirty Dirty likes to do. We like to have fun with this hip hop thing. You know
Who came up with that name, Dirty Dirty? And it's dirty is DIRTY, then DURDIE, right?
Oh my goodness.
Wow. He did his own work. This guy, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, because people they're like dirty, like, you know?
He knows.
He knows.
So that's exactly how you spell it. And a song we never released yet, which I'm trying to revisit, was called Welcome to the Dungeon. It was the very first song me and him wrote. We went to a boot camp show out here in Providence. I got drunk, twisted my ankle. We went to an after party. And then I crashed at his spot. And next morning we started writing. We were like, yo, what are we gonna do? He's like, yo, I want to work with you, B. Like, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, yo, let's make a spoof on MTV Cribs. So we pretended to be like stars that made it, but our crib is just disgusting. You know what I mean? So like, yo, we're gonna be called Dirty Dirty. He was Dirty Ice. That was one of his personas, and one of mine was Dirty Furby at the time.
Oh, that's clever.
My original name was Gremlin. So then my cousin Maggie Jane, shout out to her, she named me Dirty Furby when I was like in high school. You know what I mean? So then like we both had these names, so it was just like, yo, it makes sense. And I spelt it the way like DURDIE. He spelt it regularly. I was like, this is brilliant. And I was like, what's the concept? And then he drew a sketch of this, and it's so terrible to say it. But he drew a sketch of a very, like, you know, husky, naked woman with hair coming out of every orifice. And I was like, yo, this is it. I was like, this is
light bulb.
Like, that's our style. I was like, I guess so. But it's on something like, why wouldn't you be able to accept that too? Like, accepting people's differences. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
Always not feeling like you always gotta be cookie cutting, or because you rap, you gotta have jail time under your freaking belt, or a couple bodies, or sell bricks, or smash mad birds. Like,
that's what I like. That's what I like about hip hop. It's so many things. It's not just one thing. People you want to box it in. It's not.
Exactly.
It's a tool. You can use it in so many different ways.
So many different
ways. And
from
a business point of view, also, like, that would catch people's eye.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And,
and
that's the whole catch-22, the double standard of society. Like, I came up as a battle rapper first and foremost. You know what I mean? So like, I'm used to that kind of attack mode sometimes. You know what I mean? So we try to switch it up. Like, yo, we're kind of like battling society's quote unquote norms. You know what I mean? Like, what you think is normal, we're gonna question. We're gonna bring that to the surface. We're gonna bring this dirt to the surface, and that's what the whole purpose of Dirty Dirty is. And to do it without cursing, so that nobody can say nothing like, "Oh, does your music have curtain?" Nope. You can play my joint on the radio. You can play it for a kid if it's not a song with some adult content. You know what I mean, like that. You know, but you can play it for your grandma. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
really cool, man.
Legit. You know what I mean? Like, and we've rocked shows in front of literally children and elderly people and everyone in between.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, at this point right now, there's not one place you can put me in front of. I don't care if it's 7 people or 17,000. I'm rocking that shit.
Bro, I freaking respect that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I respect that.
Bro.
Yeah.
Legit. You know what I mean? And that's what we bring. And it's beautiful, man. Like, I'm walking in my purpose, B.
Heck yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
How much do you feel that hip hop has a influence in the culture today?
In terms of like American culture?
Yeah.
Everything. Like, I mean, hip hop is definitely a ticking pulse for pop culture in America. Absolutely. No matter how much they want to deny it, they've been milking our culture for years. But more importantly, on a positive note, I'm happy to know that breakdancing is in the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And,
really?
Oh, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
y'all didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
That's
yes,
fire.
Sir.
That is
So
interesting.
that means hip hop music is being played.
Absolutely,
That's fire.
and like not even just hip hop music, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
origins of it, the
Right.
originals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where
Exactly.
it really came from. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? So big ups to everybody across the planet who made that possible, because it was a long struggle. And shout outs to my man B-Boy El Nino from the Floor Lords, because he also is I believe associated with the organization, and as well I believe he might be competing in the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Representing the United States of America. You know what I mean?
That's big.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And this is how beautiful this culture is. We met each other when we were pups. You know what I mean? And the fact that we're still like, he's doing his thing. He's sponsored by Red Bull. We're still connected. He was tutoring my son how to break dance for a while. Like, now we're working side
Now
by side.
now
Like,
he's on a world stage.
yeah, now we also still work side by side. I do some like workshops with the Floor Lords crew out in Massachusetts. Like,
Okay.
again, like, this hip hop thing is beautiful. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? This culture is beautiful.
And if you think about it too, it's not just like affecting American culture, but the fact that it's in the Olympics. You know,
the
you got
world.
people in Brazil, you got people in, all parts of Asia
Yeah,
that
the
just
world.
really love the genre. You know, they really, really love the genre. Europe, oh my gosh.
everywhere, man. And whether America wants to admit it or not, like, I know that. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
force.
Like, it's a force. It's an energy. It could literally survive on its own land. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
it
true.
really could. Like, the mix of cultures that it touches and brings together through the music, through the sampling, through the dancing, through the art, through the expression of writing words down. Like, there's nothing else like it. And you got to be a part of it to even know what it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
you can't. Like, perfect example, like I was talking to my man about the Culture Games, which is an event that I curated a while ago that we brought back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's basically a battle setting, but for the elements of hip hop. So I started it off with a one-on-one freestyle rap battle and a one-on-one breaking. But I want to grow it into where there's also a one-on-one DJ battle and a one-on-one graffiti battle.
Yeah, that would be
Or
so
like
fire, bro.
Just a bunch of like graffiti artists going off one by one and just
Yeah.
having battles like that, and for grand prize, for cash. You know what I mean? So like, rebuilding that brand. I was telling my man, like, yo, you gotta be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Of
Like,
course.
if you go to a circle and there's a bunch of people breaking, you're not gonna jump in that if you don't know how to break.
Right.
So the same applies with the rapping. If you don't know how to freestyle, you're not even gonna waste your time trying to get up there.
Right.
Yep.
But if you do, you already know that you got that juice. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
Yep.
it's like, we're already kind of ciphering out some of the people who may or may not want to rock with it like that. But like, for the culture, for the people who are involved with that, man, like, you know who you are. You just
Oh, of
feel
course.
it, bro. Like,
Yep.
you're born with this.
And you can see the difference between the battle and the battle.
You know what I mean? You're born with this. Or when you get introduced, it just engulfs you, and you're like, yo, I need to be a part of this right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you don't even have to, like, be a specific color or creed. Like, any and everybody is a part of this. It's so beautiful. It's unlike any other music genre. It really is.
And I think that's
Amazing.
special, bro, because you're just bringing the community together too, bro.
100%.
Yep.
And recreating communities. And,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just building and spawning off of each other and just creating a peaceful environment that our impoverished communities need, man. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Yeah.
Legit.
And now, like, you have this brand called L's.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What do you got here? What do you got here? What's this? Yeah, show it up to the
So,
cameras. What do we got going on
Explain the origin. Explain the collaboration. Explain.
here? I love the
what
name.
yes,
It's
bro.
very catchy.
Yes.
Thank you. L's is premium handmade pre-roll blunts that I literally made by Dirty Dirty. Me and my partner are fully responsible for not only measuring out the hemp leaf that we roll it in and cutting it up by hand, but we also prefabricate a glass filter at the end. We infuse the premium flower that we get with full spectrum THC oil, let it marinate, roll it by hand, bag it, seal it, sticker it, tag it, box it, ship it.
Fire.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And shout outs to our partners, Equipment Harvest Company and Cannon Supply House. They're great people. And yeah, man, it's a blessing. And like, it was unreal until it was real.
How long? How long you been doing it for?
It's always like that.
How long has it been now? How long you been doing it for now?
We did a solid year and change of like hardcore research and development before we even launched. And then we launched in, I believe, September 16th or so.
See, right there, that's the right way to do a business, right there.
2022.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Wow.
Like we R&D for life, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Mikey. You know what I mean? And over there at the shop for AHC. But that's the mentality, man. Like R&D daily, man. Just finding better ways to just get it better and just make it better. And we wanted to make sure we got a product because my man Demeen, he's actually the brainchild of this whole idea. You know what I mean? My partner Demeen Cyron, he, you know, we're weed heads, bro. Like this is our culture. You know what I mean? We grew up with it, and you know, like when Rhode Island was going wreck, he would go to these dispensaries and notice a gap in the market, which was pre-rolled blunts. There was a lot of pre-rolls, but no blunts, nothing that represents people like us.
I see.
You know what I mean? And sometimes he'd be like, yo, even when I go in these stores, sometimes, no disrespect, but it felt like I was going into a yoga studio. It didn't feel like there was no hip-hop here. There was no vibes. There was no, like, there's no representation of us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So it's like, who better to bring hip-hop to the market with a product to fill in that gap besides us?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like the stars aligned, the universe said, yo, go, and then he gave me that call, and I was like, bet, bro. Like,
That's awesome. How's the support been?
the support's been beautiful, you know, and it's crazy because, you know, when we first started, we knew off rip because, like, there's a lot of, you know, I want to say controversy, but a lot of people are weary about dispensaries, especially if you're traditional smokers and you got your sources of, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you like to, you know, keep it that way. And no disrespect to anybody, but we already knew that there was going to be a line of people who may not rock with our product because they're not even going to walk in the door.
Right.
But when we did our first live pop-up, like the day we debuted, we sold 50 units to a Greenleaf out in Portsmouth.
Okay.
Shout-outs to them. And within 2 hours, we sold out.
Wow.
Within those 2 hours, we realized a range of various human beings that we never seen before in our entire lives. And a lot of them that were getting pre-rolls were women. Between the ages of like 25 and like 55, maybe 60.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
bet.
So a good strategy was like, hey, you know, like we were like, yo, support our product, come by the table, come talk to us, and we'll give you a T-shirt. You know what I mean, for the branding purposes. So people were about that, boom, 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 and then once we sold out and we put the word out, people were like, oh, it's real. You know what I mean? Wow. And then the ball started rolling from there, and then we just started getting better and better at our processes of putting out, you know, the volume that we're at right now because we started with one store. And that was a year and a half ago, and now today we're in 6 out of 7.
And where can we get these?
Every single dispensary in Rhode Island, with the exception of Slater.
Wow.
Okay. So that we're at Mother Earth, we're at Aura, we're at Sweet Spot, Greenleaf, Solar, and Rise.
Okay.
You can get us at all of those spots. Hit up their website, check out the menus. We got different flavors all the time. And it's a beautiful opportunity to not only contribute a quality product for people who truly like to indulge in this activity, but to once again properly represent our culture of hip hop. You know what I mean? Because even the word L's is a slang from the 90s. Like, yo, let's go smoke some L's, B. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's our culture. You know what I mean? So people who get it automatically get it. And the fact that it's handmade, it's not a machine doing it. You know what I mean? Like, we break up the weed by hand. You know what I mean? We're not like, we don't joke around when we say that. You know what I mean? So I think that's the nostalgia of our product as well, too.
That's really dope. Where do you see it? The business, like the company, what's kind of the plan, like in 5 years? Like, where do you see it growing?
I mean, ideally, you would love to see it. I would love to see it be as big as Cookies. You know what I mean? Something like that where, you know, like it's national, but there's a lot of like, you know, regulations and like it's not federally legal yet. So until then, like, you know, we'll do what we can to feed any and every state we have an opportunity to be in. You know what I mean? Like as long as everything's legit, we'll obviously play it legit. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And it's dope. You know what I mean?
Good.
And what inspired you to do music, Grim?
It's a good question, man.
When did you
What
realize?
started you? What was the moment? The aha moment? Like it was like
And then
you know
then you have that moment, right? And then when you realize like, yo, I really got this. I really got the juice. I really have.
Was it a
I have a
performance?
talent.
Was it a studio?
So there's 3 questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is, I'm catching up.
What inspired you to do music?
What inspired me to do music? Oh, finding out that I could do it. I was like 12 years old. Obviously, like I said, hip hop has been around me. You know what I mean? Especially if you grow up in the projects and in poverty, you're gonna come across hip hop.
Yeah.
And it was around me all my life. Me and a couple of my friends decided to try to like practice by rapping other people's raps, and then one day we're like, "Yo, bump that. What if we did our own?" And then we started doing our own. And it was like, oh, wow. Shout outs to my old crew. You know what I mean?
You guys did a cypher, too, I think it was like a year or two ago. A few years ago.
Yeah, that was a different
2020,
crew.
sorry.
Yeah, that was a different crew. Yeah, the Omega High Cool crew. This crew I'm talking about is old school. Like, I was like 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Like, junior high. Like, my man Blue, Bucky, my man Josh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, like, I've been rapping for a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful, you know what I mean? To, like, still be here creatively getting better with the pen and getting better with the performances and continuing to grow this fan base and pivot into something like L's and just, you know what I mean? Just continue to grow.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, and facing these adversities of like, there's been a lot of times where I didn't want to do this and I wanted to quit. I'm like, yo, I'm losing money. I'm paying out too many people. I'm not getting enough back in return because I'm making sure that everyone's good besides me. You know what I mean? Like, it was just.
It's hard, man. The grind is hard, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you realize, yo, I could really rap?
That aha moment.
Like, I got this. Like, I got this
moment.
talent. Like, I could really rap.
Was it like a high school talent show? Was it like a...
And then you were noticed. I'm pretty sure people noticed that you had this talent, bro. If you had friends and you know, in this group, this rap group, you know what I'm saying?
The first stage off the rip, my partner Demean, he knew it off rip the moment he saw me when I was 13 years old.
Wow, so you guys have been together for that long.
Yeah.
You still rap with people that you've been around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wow.
Well, he's definitely, you know what I mean, one of the ones that we were still rocking with today, you know what I'm saying, to this day. And I still got love for a lot of people who I came up with, and at any time, they already know all they got to do is call, you know what I mean? But Demi knew it off rip once he saw me, the first time he saw me perform. I realized it when I released my first EP in high school, and I got enough money to buy myself a car. I was like, yo,
wow.
Off the EP?
And this was non-streaming era. This was hand-to-hand CDs. This is I paid to copy them. I paid for the copies of the CD slits.
Yeah.
I put them in between.
The hustle
I
was
literally
different.
went to your face and was like, you want to buy my music?
Bro.
And I made enough money to buy myself a little beater.
Blood, sweat, and tears,
So
bro.
that was stage one when I was like, yo, this is real. Second one was when one of the awards that Dirty Dirty won, and then we did a big show for AS220.
Okay.
In front of like 5,000 or more people, like for one of their Food Fest events. And then the third stage was literally recently, like a couple months ago.
What? Really? Oh, wow.
I always knew I was nice, but I was always like too like humble, I guess, or like also doubtful. Like I was very like, there was a point in my life where I wanted to quit rap, and I started picking up the bass guitar. Because I was like, yo, I can't just rely on writing raps to stay connected to music.
Right.
I didn't know you played bass, bro.
Me neither.
I kind of don't, but I am dabbling. I'm getting it back. Yo.
Oh.
I'm going to holla at you. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to, yo. You could see it, dog. You know what I mean? If I'm on stage, like, wow. You know what I mean? So I picked it up for a little bit, taught myself some theory, taught myself how to use the fret. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Everything off rip, bro. And then I stopped, and then COVID started coming around. Actually, this is way before COVID. And then I was like, you know what? I still got it, but let me just drop every now and then, always self-doubting. And then there was one day not too long ago where I'm like, bro, I was listening to some of my catalog, and I'm like, dog, you got joints that are almost 10 years old that are still rocking today, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
timeless pieces,
timeless
man.
pieces.
Yeah.
And then I'm reading back some of my old stuff, and I'm like, bro, talking to people that I know, people that just met me. You know what I mean? Like, really, like, understanding, not on no cockiness, but on some, like, real grounding. Like, bro, understand what your purpose is. You are here for this. And I realized it when I was in front of a group of kindergarten and third graders, bro.
Wow.
Shout outs to Floor Lords again, you know what I mean? For inviting me to these forums to rock for these children. But I knew it. I was like, bro, we're vessels, bro. Like, we're literally the thing that they see.
Yes.
Cause it's not just a rap, but like we present the whole culture. We ask the kids what the culture is, what the elements are, and we do pop quizzes. We get them involved with it. We get them dancing. There's a breakdance segment with the Floor Lords.
Interaction.
They have popping from a Slaughterhouse crew. They also have a beatboxer by my man Chopper, the beatboxer. So he does a little thing, and then I do the rapping. You know what I mean? And then we try to represent graffiti in our clothing. So we're like the only source of real hip-hop that a lot of these kids are seeing. And that's when I knew it. I'm like, yup, like, I'm nice, bro. Like, yo, if I could get these kids rocking with me and being like, ah, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Not everyone
bring
can
the
do
energy.
That.
Yeah, man.
You know
Not everybody can do that, bro. That's so true.
And you know, and my partner one day, he was like, yo, we're performing artists. And someone else was like, yo, performing artists? What do you guys think? You're magicians? And my partner was like, yo, magicians. He's like, yo, you think you're magicians? And my partner was like, yo, you ever seen 65-year-olds rock to hip hop?
That is hilarious.
When magicians be, I was like, yo, that's 100% right though. Like if you're able to rock for strangers and they're rocking with you, that's a magic trick, bro. This is almost alchemy. You know what I mean? Like 100%. Just being able to take the English language, contort it in the way that we do to get your brain thinking about something. We're not just blabbing. Like almost every joint we have is a concept, and again, we're not cursing.
Wow.
Painting a picture, painting a visual.
No one even, that's how raw our content is, that you can't even tell the difference if we're not swearing or not. It doesn't even matter.
That is awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know, it's funny because, you know, I don't even know if I want to, there's some things I want to bring up tonight.
Of course, bro, let it out.
Yeah, got some things, you know what I'm saying? Brother. But I'm very passionate with this thing called hip hop, man, and I'm not one of these extreme critique dudes like always debating on something like I only like things from the 90s. Nah, I like a lot of different music. You know what I mean? Like and I could rock to almost any beat, bro. Like you could put on a trap beat, I'll rock it. You could play Spoons on your kneecap and I'll freaking bust a joint. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
Legit, dog. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, bro, this music thing is beautiful, but I think it's funny how when you talk about the art of manifestation and what you talk about coming into existence, regardless of what environment that you grew up in and come from and try to represent, if you continuously depict these negative images and these traumas that you have or haven't healed from, and that's all you do, and then you're trying to keep it real by putting some of that truth in your music, you can't get really upset if law enforcement find a way to put 2 and 2 together. And come after you.
I see.
So I'm not going to sit here and say whatever conspiracy theory, I'm not even going to try to put cats' names out there, but there's a lot of top-notch MCs talking about, you know, the feds are after hip-hop, the cops are after the hip. No, they're after you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're after you because you wanted to keep it real and make 10 plus years of music that literally just talks about this one thing. And then you're like, yo, I got bodies on me, I got bricks, I got 1 foot in, I got, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you wonder why? Like, I at this point in my life, it's 2024, man. Like, we all got a device in our pocket that could change our life forever.
Yeah,
we could look up everything we want. We could book a flight somewhere. We could read a book. We could freaking watch a documentary. We could make a phone call. We could freaking read it. there's no excuse for continuously perpetuating this negativity that we come from and then wondering why it's not disappearing and then pretending that this music isn't continuously influencing that energy.
Right. Wow, I love how you put that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, like, I'm not sitting here being like, you need to rap about church and just gumdrops and rainbows because life is tough, but this is why I love Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Because Wu-Tang told you that some of this is not in the glorify, bro.
Right.
Wow.
They didn't just tell the story of the happy times when you got your bag.
Yeah.
They talked about when you don't have your bag and it got robbed, or this one got murdered, or your grandmother's tired of seeing people dying.
The realness.
Or they switched it up and made a love song, or freaking talked about the cosmos, or freaking, you know what I mean? Put you on to different things from our environment. So for me, it's like, where is that again, bro?
Wow, yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
Like, where is that?
There's so many different things you can rap about and talk about.
There's so many positive black and brown people in this world right now. Why are we still continuing to focus on the negative? Why are we still continuing to just give light to these situations? That,
facts, bro.
You know what I mean? Seriously, like, people are having a field day with this Diddy thing, bro. And it's like, dog, imagine if you switched that energy over, bro.
Wow, yeah.
What if you started talking about the other people who are black billionaires who are doing great things for their communities, bro?
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? Talk about, like, the Tavis Smileys. I don't know, bro. Like, you know what I mean? There's people out here, yo. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, they're and again, I'm not really trying to say names like that because I want to make it a more universal thing, because it's not about the individual. It's about the community.
Yeah.
And that community, like, you know, like Mos Def said, yo, like, hip-hop is a reflection of that. When people ask where hip-hop is, you got to ask where the people are at.
Wow, that's true.
So when you look at the people, you know where this culture's at right now. And there's an identity crisis because we're so prone to supporting companies of owners that don't look like us, making them richer. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us don't even support black and brown businesses.
Yeah, right. You're right.
We wait until they blow up.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? It's kind of tight, but
that is so true.
But I did get this new $80 Supreme T-shirt. You know what I mean?
That doesn't make any sense.
I did spend $200 on this fanny pack, but this $25 blunt, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean?
And Black Lives Matter doesn't count.
You know what I mean? Like, and no shade again. Like, live your life the way you want to live it. You know what I mean? But like, understand that like our people need that support more than theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate to bring it like that, but we keep making other companies that already have the money richer.
Yeah.
And we look at so many different, you know, black-owned businesses struggling right now. You know what I mean?
That is so true, man.
Struggling, trying to keep their lights on, trying to provide hope and opportunity for not only their surroundings but for their communities. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I'm not gonna mention names, but you know, someone was online talking about like the Rhode Island dispensaries, or Rhode Island cannabis industry made a couple $1 million, and how much of that did you see? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And at the same token, it's like, yo, if I flipped it and said, yo, your corner boys on your block made X amount of dollars this month. How much of that did you see?
Right.
Crickets, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what I rap about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those dynamics. I put that in rhyme form sometimes to make people think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because again, how you not gonna look at that? How you not gonna understand that, yo, you can't complain about one side, especially if cats are trying to do it legally. You know what I mean? And I know that wasn't no shade specifically, and this is no shade specifically either, but it's like, yo, it's time to talk about this if this is how people are feeling, because we don't really brag about it, but we are the only black-owned business in the cannabis industry in Rhode Island right now, especially those who are bringing the true essence of hip-hop culture to the marketplace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we're not out here begging for people's, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't even nothing like that. It's more so on some like, oh, all right, like, we know who does, and we love the people who do support us. And it's a variety of people. But, you know, when we're talking about black-owned businesses, let's talk about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, why are you more prone to buying these Jordans? Like, that's cool to drop $300, but you're going to sit here and complain about the tiny little bit of tax for a handmade product, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we don't really have the power until we get the power. And we only get the power through the people.
That's true.
So until that day comes, there's not much that we really could do but continue to grind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
true.
It's like we're just leading with love and letting the light guide and making people understand like, yo, we're humble individuals. We're out here just trying to make a future for our people, our families, and we're trying to inspire people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think we're doing a pretty great job of that in terms of
100%,
like
bro.
showing people that you don't just need the music or you don't just need something. If you have an idea and you match that with actions, that's manifestation. You know what I mean? Like just taking it into reality. And again, man, like we gotta really think about that, yo. Like we out here, a lot of people out here, you know, playing like yo, buying a PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
Kid is it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's all they're in it for.
Yeah, like, yo, I bought him Jordans and a PS5. Well, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're still in this mentality, yo, that
Yeah.
is being spoon-fed to us day in and day out.
Right.
And it's time to, like, be like, nah,
Consumerism.
let's talk about it,
Yeah.
man. Like, I don't care if you own a bakery, if you own a dog walking service, if it's a black-owned company, like, we all, like, black, Latino, any black or brown company and business, we got to find ways to continue to support and continue to
uplift, man.
uplift
Yeah.
and inspire and literally put our money in our communities.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like we keep
Absolutely.
feeding the beast, wondering why it stays hungry.
Right.
Wow, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Legit, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like if you starve that monster, it has nothing to do but quiver and just do what we say. Supply and demand. Well, demand peace. Demand change. Demand the inflation to go down on everything. Demand social justice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, yo, it sounds crazy, but if people literally stop buying a lot of different things, you'll see a big change in the system, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? My rant is over.
No, keep it going.
We
love this.
What's your top 3 favorite original songs of yours?
Ooh.
Top 3. We can expand that.
Yeah, we could do 5.
Of
5
the
to 10.
ones that I made? Damn.
Yeah, just original. Like,
off cuff. What's the top?
I don't want to do 5 because I want you to really precisely give me 3 songs that you really fucking
3.
like. You love listening to those specific songs. Every time you hear it, you're just like, oh shit, yeah. Do you rap in the mirror? Hold on, before you answer that, do you
Yes.
rap in the mirror? Okay. I thought I was the only one that did
I
that.
rap everywhere. I rap in the car. I rap at work. You know what I mean?
Like, you know how you
I'll rap
like
in my head.
practicing your
I'll mumble it in
performance?
my. You know what I mean? Like just not even saying it out loud. Just like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm always like trying to stay sharp.
Yeah. But top 3, yeah. Originals.
Top three. I would say the song I have called "Personal Not Business" off of Dirty Dirty's album Group Therapy. Credit Score. That's a fan favorite. These are no particular orders.
I want to hear what that's about. Credit score.
Yeah, Credit
hear
Score
that.
is actually about street cred.
Okay.
You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
okay.
So again, like talking about it, you know what I mean? Like wanting your head to find who got street cred, and I talked about the kid who went to college instead of hitting the block, and you know what I mean? Like the people who face these adversities of the streets and still did something positive with their life, because again, they are out there.
Yep.
We are out here. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's time to put a light on that. You know what I mean? If you're from the hood and from the projects, it's time to put a light on those people who are working 2 to 3 jobs and staying out of trouble,
Taking care of their
taking care of their
kids.
kids and
Yeah,
making sure
man.
that their family and their surrounding is peaceful. Like, shout outs to all of you guys out there making that happen, yo, because it's
real
not
heroes.
easy. The real heroes.
Right.
So, you know, that's what Dirty Dirty's here for, to put a light to that. You know what I mean? And what's my third one?
Yeah.
I want to say this song called Veteran Brood, produced by Tone Spliff out of L.A.
Okay.
That's definitely one of my favorites. I like the vibe of that joint. All of them are available online, by the way. You know what I mean?
Check it out. Check
Lord
it out.
Gremithy.
Dirty Dirty or
Yeah,
Lord Gremithy on
Grem.
all social platforms across the board. We're everywhere, man. And we got new music coming up, which is the best part about this whole journey, still being able to make music. We're doing a beat CD called Music to Smoke To, Liquid Boom Bap by Demean Cyron, because he also is Dirty Dirty's producer. So
Okay.
he makes original beats. And we're gonna put out a CD of instrumentals for you guys to smoke and get high to.
That's
Just
fire.
vibe out,
Yes.
practice your freestyles or your singing capabilities or
Like
your
backing
poetry.
tracks.
Exactly.
That is so cool.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we're gonna be dropping that. I'm gonna be dropping my solo album sometime this year, and then we're also gonna be dropping a Dirty Dirty album at the end of this year.
Fire.
So and we got constant flavors. Shout outs to all of our collaborators that work with L's, because we don't grow our own cannabis. You know what I mean? We work
Yeah.
with variety of different cultivators throughout the state of Rhode Island, which is beautiful because
Yes.
we get to work
Connect
with so
and
many
network.
different people, connect, network, cross promote. You know what I mean? Taste beautiful flavors
Yeah.
of premium flower. You know what I mean? Like picking the cream and the crap. So what I say, yes. But like, shout outs to all of our sponsors, everybody who supports L's, anybody who is in the industry, you know, from the bud tenders to the owners of the dispensaries, to the people growing, to the people, you know, just bagging and packaging. Anybody
Yeah.
who's a part of this industry, it's a beautiful one. And you know, shout outs to High Society, shout outs to
Oh yeah. High society.
so many people, man. You know what I mean? It's beautiful to be here, and once again, man, like. I mean, no shade from that comment earlier, but it's just something that I wanted to bring out. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Because
No, we
again,
love that you did that. We love that you shedding light on that.
yeah, because
Yeah.
again, man, it's not just us that is hitting. You know what I mean? There's a lot of companies who are like, oh, all right, well, we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, like even with music, especially with music, people are always gonna wait until you blow. They're gonna be like, oh yeah,
Right.
you know, I don't know, but you got a show tonight. Oh, you got a new song. But
Yeah.
once you get that Grammy nomination
Right.
and you're on that spot, they're like, yo, that's my guy. Yo,
Right,
yo,
right,
you don't
right,
remember
right.
me, fam?
Right. And then you got your haters
Yeah.
that bring up your past.
Yeah, like yo, I remember when I beat you in that battle, son. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I welcome all of it because I know that's what comes with,
Exactly.
with the territory. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's a territory that they created, bro. Like
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, it's
we
true.
could recreate that, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we could set the tone to a whole nother frequency, and that's what I'm hoping happens because there's so many dope artists out
Hell
here,
yeah.
man. So many dope artists doing
yeah.
what we're doing or better or just as equally. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Right.
it's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Let me ask you this last question. What advice would you give another upcoming artist that's starting from the bottom?
Damn.
That's a good one.
That is, and it's already almost over.
In this day and age, I mean, what you've been through, like your walk, you know how you talked about, you basically got your car, you know,
Right.
doing, you know, sales
Yep.
as you did it. You know, in this economy, in this day and age, what can you bestow for these up and coming rappers, up and coming artists? What kind of knowledge can you give them? What advice would you say?
I'm gonna need a couple minutes. It's not,
yeah,
it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Definitely got to accept failure, some type of
Yes,
failure.
That 100%,
Yeah.
100%. I would say one of the main things is trust your process. You know what I mean? Whatever that be. There's been spells of my writer's block that lasted almost 2 years.
Wow.
Where I thought I was gonna quit, and I just had to let whatever was going on in me go through me, and then I got it back. Cause once you got it, it never goes.
Right.
I don't care what talent you have. You could be a cook. You could be someone who likes to sew.
Muscle memory.
You could be someone who's a barber. It's the muscle memory.
That's so true.
You know what I mean?
It's a skill that you developed for so long.
100%. So I would say anyone coming up, number one, know what the purpose is. You know what I mean? What is your purpose? Are you here just to have fun, or are you here to influence people,
Right.
or are you here to cause havoc? Nah. But know what your purpose is and walk in it. Be ready to deal with adversities. Be ready to balance life with this passion. I can't tell you how many times, like, people don't even understand. Like, we were full-time servers for a long time, and luckily we're blessed to now just be with else. You know what I mean? Taking that leap of faith, not and again trusting the process, being
Yeah.
like, yo, this will work. This is how we're gonna get it done. We got great partners. We got a great team. Let's make it happen. And that's what you got to do. You got to surround yourself with people who believe in you. Even if there's no one that does believe in you, you got to believe in you.
Right.
More importantly, you got to believe, like, yo, I got this. And if the rest of the world can't see it, that's on them. Because when I get there, I know exactly who remembered.
Yeah, who had your back, who supported
exactly
you from day one.
who helped me get catapulted. And
Yeah.
those are the people that are going to come with that ride. You know what I mean? And again, man, like, understand the power of this music.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the influence factor.
You're manifesting what your words are saying.
100%, man.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so important to create your own identity, to believe in it, and to walk in it. You know what I mean? Be your own style. That's the beauty of this hip hop thing. Like, everybody got their own style.
Right.
You ain't gotta copy nobody. You just gotta sound fresh like you. You know what I mean? And never give up. No matter what show you think is gonna have 300 people and only 13 show up.
Right.
Or vice versa. Keep going. Don't get discouraged, because these are the trials and tribulations. The universe is gonna test you. Like, yo, you really want this?
Right.
It's gonna test you.
That is so true.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you gotta be willing to take that test.
Right. And I want to add on to this. I also, like, some artists believe, like, they don't have to work a regular 40-hour job.
I'm so against that.
And then
I'm so
and then
against
to
that.
be an
I'm sorry.
artist, like, they feel like I have nothing wrong with people going 100% as an artist, but at the same time, if you're starting from the bottom, you gotta grind.
Yeah.
So that means you still gotta work a 9 to 5 or that 2 to 11 job until you get to where you don't need to. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, like, I see that a lot online. Like, you know, people quitting their jobs because they're going full force on. I mean, they have great productions. They have great quality music. It's just they're not getting views and not getting, you know, they're not getting the right audience. You know, so they quit their jobs and then they go full time into, like, this artistry.
That's such a mistake. That is such a mistake.
You think so? Why?
Yeah, like jumping ship before you were ready, or not having, like, a plan.
Exactly.
You know, that's a recipe for disaster.
Foolish. That is pretty foolish. I agree. I mean, at the same time, if you got the financial backing to take care of you and yours,
exactly,
then do whatever you got to do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But if you don't, like, that is pretty foolish. Because, again, that's part of the grind. I don't know any major artist who didn't have to bust their ass. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be ashamed at that. You know what I mean?
And major artists have talked about that too.
Yeah, if anything, use some of that money to fund what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Drake was talking about how he had to work a 9 to 5 job and still be an MC.
all of us
you know,
did,
on
man.
the weekends.
All of us did. So if one of the you know, acclaimed greatest can say that, what's your excuse at that point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yo, man, I love what I do. I'm happy to be here. I thank you guys for inviting me.
Oh,
you
this
know
is
what I
a
mean?
pleasure.
I would rap it with y'all for hours.
Yo, for real.
But you know, Dirty Dirty is the duo, and
Dirty.
Els is the brand. You know what I
Check
mean?
it out. Check it out.
Check it out. Once again, we're at 6 out of 7 dispensaries across the state of Rhode Island. We got new music coming up. This is probably gonna air after the Culture Games, but shout outs to everyone who's a part of the Culture Games.
This is Saturday, right? April 6th?
April 6th at Dancing Cats.
Man, if I didn't have to work, I would be there, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully one
it's
day
2
will
to
be
7, right?
Yeah. Hopefully one day will be a national holiday.
Yeah.
Yo, wow.
Legit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I can't work. I gotta go to Culture Games, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Legit, yo. But shout outs to real hip hop out there. We're still existing. We're still alive and
Yes, sir.
thriving more than ever.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yo, you guys heard it.
Word. Lord Gremithy. You can catch me across the board. Lord_Gremithy. GREMITHY. That's how you spell that. Follow Dirty Dirty as he spelled correctly.
Yes.
DIRTYDURDIE. Website's coming out soon. New music's coming out soon. Keep it locked.
Yes.
Thank you for viewing. And this is the Everything and Anything podcast where we talk about everything and anything. And we out.
We out. Everything.
Party people, what's good? My name is Lord Gremithy. I'm representing Dirty Dirty. And you are listening to the Everything and Anything podcast. And I am going to perform Stay Lit with my good friend Uzi. Hey, I admit you're lit, but it's a dull bulb. Match my wattage or sit there and sulk. Do it quietly though. No one wants to hear you complain. Know what I'm saying? Hey, I said, I admit you're lit, but it's a dull bulb. Match my wattage or sit there and sulk. Do it quietly though. Y'all ready? Listen, I'm free falling down the rabbit hole that's bottomless. Fear not of my awkwardness. Shocking hits are rocking this metropolis. I often spit with the spirit of Spartacus, preparing people to survive an apocalypse. They say world peace cannot exist. Lord bless the needy. You're impressed to see me like an image of Nefertiti presented in fresh graffiti. Serpents crawl through the meadows of the ghetto. Once captured, I conduct requiems in falsetto. Love, know the power of this one word and comprehend why I have none for these dumb herbs. It's not what it is, plus it ain't what it's meant to be. I react based off the energy that's sent to me, balancing feelings of sympathy and empathy. Soon life won't be as hard as it tends to be, cause I admit you're lit, but it's a dull bulb. Match my wattage or sit there and sulk. Do it quietly though, but party people say ho. I see you. I admit you're lit, but it's a dull bulb. Match my wattage or sit there and sulk. Do it quietly though. Everybody say ho. My baptism was performed in a pool of vinegar. Me, myself, and I stranded on a peninsula. Now returning to civilization to claim the throne for Lord Gremithy, first of his name, creator of trends, cultural rejuvenator. The rose that grew from a nuclear crater. Born with a plastic spork in my grill piece. Had NBA dreams, too short so I killed beats. Flexing in my family's hand-me-down wardrobe. Grandma's like, how they gonna know it's not your clothes? Humbly accepting the pain and struggle of a kid from the hood made fun of cause he ain't hustle. Never downplay our people's mental conditioning. You listening to what the ghost in your shell is whispering? As I continue to shine and stay glistening, my permanent residence renews, you're just visiting. Cause I admit you're lit, but it's a dull bulb. Match my wattage or sit there and sulk. Do it quietly though, cause dirty is the duo. Check it out, I said yo, I admit you're lit, but it's a dull bulb. Match my wattage or sit there and sulk. Do it quietly though. If you're on your phone, say ho. Word. Els is the brand, party people. Y'all know the vibes. Lord Gremithy, you can follow me across the board. Lord_Gremithy, as well as Dirty Hip Hop. Be on the lookout for dirtydirty.com. More music, more Els, more beautiful, positive vibes. Thank y'all. I love y'all. This is sexy.
Fire.
Race.